Owls have long been fascinating creatures in the world of mythology and superstition. Their silent flight, haunting hoots, and nocturnal habits make them seem otherworldly, often shrouded in mystery. In many cultures across the globe, owls are symbols of wisdom, but just as frequently, they are associated with death, doom, and the supernatural. This dual symbolism is both captivating and chilling, and the owl's reputation as a harbinger of death has persisted for centuries. Welcome to Fact Pros. In this video, we will explore the myths, superstitions, and cultural beliefs that connect owls to death and darkness, delving into how this enigmatic bird became so closely linked with the afterlife. The owl's nocturnal nature. One of the key reasons why owls are associated with death and the supernatural is their nocturnal lifestyle. In many cultures, night has traditionally been seen as a time of danger, fear, and the unknown. People often equated darkness with death and the afterlife, and nocturnal creatures like owls naturally became symbols of these forces. The owl's ability to see in the dark only adds to this eerie reputation. Their glowing eyes, silent flight, and ability to hunt in total darkness give them an almost supernatural quality. In ancient times, when the night was filled with more dangers and unknowns, these abilities were seen as otherworldly. As owls moved silently through the dark, they were often imagined as messengers from the underworld, guiding souls or foretelling death. Owls in ancient mythology. Owls have played significant roles in various ancient mythologies, where they are often linked with the afterlife and death. For instance, in Greek mythology, owls were connected to Hades, the god of the underworld. While the owl was more commonly associated with Athena, the goddess of wisdom, its connection to Hades further reinforced the bird's association with death. In Roman mythology, owls were often seen as ominous creatures. According to legend, the death of famous figures, such as Julius Caesar, was foretold by the hooting of owls. Roman poet Ovid also wrote that owls were harbingers of death, and their appearance near a person's home could mean imminent doom. Similarly, in Egyptian mythology, owls were viewed as symbols of death and protection in the afterlife. They were believed to act as guardians of souls making their way to the underworld, keeping them safe as they journeyed through the dangerous realms of the dead. The owl in Native American traditions. Native American tribes also held varying beliefs about owls, with many associating them with death and the spirit world. Some tribes believed that owls were the spirits of the dead, watching over the living or guiding lost souls to the afterlife. The Cherokee and Lakota tribes, for example, believed that seeing or hearing an owl at night was an omen of death or illness. In contrast, other tribes viewed owls as protectors or messengers. The Hopi tribe saw the owl as a guide for the dead, helping spirits transition to the afterlife, while the Apache considered owls to be the souls of warriors who had passed away. These varying perspectives highlight the owl's complex role as both a feared and revered creature in Native American mythology. Medieval European superstitions. During the Middle Ages in Europe, owls became entangled in superstitions about witchcraft and the occult. Owls were believed to be witches in disguise or companions to witches, aiding them in their dark magic. The bird's nocturnal nature, eerie call, and ability to hunt in darkness contributed to its association with evil forces. Many people believed that if an owl perched on someone's house or called out at night, it was a warning of death or illness to come. The association of owls with witchcraft was not limited to Europe. In Mexico, during the Spanish Inquisition, the Lechuza, a type of owl, was feared as a shape-shifting witch. The Lechuza was believed to transform into an owl to spy on and harm people, often foretelling death or disaster. Owls in African folklore. In many parts of Africa, owls are considered bad omens, often linked with death, illness, and misfortune. In West African folklore, for example, owls are seen as messengers of sorcery and death, delivering news of a coming tragedy. In some cultures, it is believed that owls are the reincarnated souls of witches or people who practiced black magic. In Zulu culture, Owls are associated with death and the afterlife. It is believed that hearing the call of an owl signifies that death is near, either for the listener or someone close to them. Some African tribes also believe that owls have the ability to carry messages between the living and the dead, acting as intermediaries between the two realms. The barn owl. The barn owl, with its ghostly white appearance and silent flight, is perhaps the most feared of all owl species when it comes to superstitions about death. Its screeching call, often heard in the dead of night, has historically been interpreted as an omen of death or disaster. In England, the barn owl has been particularly associated with death. In rural areas, hearing the barn owl screech near your home was believed to signal that someone in the household would soon die. These beliefs were so strong that people would often try to drive owls away from their homes to avoid such dire predictions. Owls as symbols of transition and transformation. While many cultures associate owls with death, it is important to note that death in mythological terms does not always signify an end. In many traditions, death is seen as a form of transformation or transition, and owls, as creatures that navigate both day and night, life and death, represent this journey between worlds. For example, in Celtic mythology, the owl was not just a harbinger of death, but also a symbol of wisdom and transition. The owl's ability to see in the dark was metaphorically linked to its ability to see into the soul and navigate the mysteries of life and death. In this sense, the owl was seen as a guide, helping individuals transition through the stages of life and death. Modern-day superstitions and beliefs. Despite scientific advancements and modern understanding of owls' behavior, the bird's association with death and bad luck persists in some parts of the world. In certain rural areas of Europe, Africa, and Latin America, people still hold to the belief that hearing or seeing an owl is a bad omen. In contrast, some cultures have embraced the owl as a symbol of protection and spiritual guidance. The Hindu goddess Lakshmi, associated with wealth and prosperity, is often depicted riding an owl, symbolizing the bird's ability to see beyond material wealth and into the spiritual realm. Understanding the owl's true nature. While the myths and superstitions surrounding owls can be fascinating, it's important to separate fiction from reality. Owls are not harbingers of death or doom, but rather remarkable creatures with unique adaptations that allow them to thrive in their nocturnal environment. Their ability to fly silently, hunt with precision, and see in the dark are biological marvels, not supernatural traits. By understanding the owl's true nature, we can appreciate the role it plays in ecosystems as a skilled predator that helps control rodent populations. Owls are not to be feared but admired for their remarkable abilities and the balance they bring to the natural world. The enduring legacy of owl superstitions. The owl's association with death, mystery, and the supernatural has persisted for centuries, weaving its way through the myths and folklore of cultures around the world. While these superstitions may have arisen from fear of the unknown, they also reflect humanity's enduring fascination with life, death, and the natural world. Today, we can admire the owl for its beauty, intelligence, and adaptability, leaving behind the myths of old. If you enjoyed learning about the myths and superstitions surrounding owls, be sure to like and subscribe for more intriguing explorations into the world of animals, folklore, and culture. Stay tuned for more fascinating stories from around the world.